Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about subtracting integers day number 1. Our content objective is students will be able to use number lines to find the difference of integers. So we've added before, today we're going to just be subtracting them. Language objective is students will be able to verbally describe the use of number lines to find the difference of integers. Why am I learning this? Well, it's important for real-world examples like the change of temperature over a period of time. So real quick, let's just refresh what we did with adding integers. We've done it with symbols. Okay, we looked at zero pairs. We compared, how many more positives to negatives were there using symbols. But we've also done it with a number line. Remembering that plus means to go forward. So guess what? What do you think subtraction means? Subtraction is going to mean the opposite and mean going backwards instead of forwards this time. Okay, we also remember that anytime an integer was negative, it meant to do the opposite. So if we're asked to go forward, we have to go the opposite and go backwards, etc. Okay, so with that, let's first start with number 1. It says 3 minus 6. We are going to first utilize the symbols model. So here, this is a positive 3, so I'm going to start with 3. And then it says subtract 6. There's a problem there. Why? Because I only have 3 positives and it's wanting me to subtract 6. So what will I have to do? Well, I would need an additional 3 positives to actually take away 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can't simply just add 3 positives without changing the entire problem. So what I could do instead is add in 0 pairs. So if I add a positive, I add a negative. If I add a positive, add a negative. Now, why is this okay? Because essentially, this is a 0 pair, meaning this is adds up to 0, this is 0, this is 0. So me adding 0 to this doesn't really change anything. But for those reasons, I'm actually going to be allowed to take away 6 positives. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would leave me with a total of 3 negatives. So my answer is negative 3. So the key thing to remember for subtraction is sometimes they're going to ask you to take away a certain amount and you might not have enough. So what do you have to do? You have to add some 0 pairs. Okay? So moving on. Number 1. Now, same exact problem, 3 minus 6, but I'm going to try using a number line. So the very first thing it says is 3. So I'm going to start at the origin and go towards positive 3. Here, since it is subtraction, I am going to go backwards instead of forwards. Remember, from previous lessons, when we were adding integers, a plus sign meant to go positive. Well, this time it's subtraction, I'm going to go backwards. And guess what? It's asking me to go backwards 6, and it is positive, so it's not making me switch directions again. So I'm going to go backwards 6. So from here, I'm going to go backwards 6, leaving me with negative 3. So my answer is negative 3. Notice again, it's the same exact answer as I got from the previous model, which was the symbols model. So it really doesn't matter whether you're using the symbols model or number line, you should end up with the same answer. Now, I do want to address one issue that some of my students were misunderstanding. Some students thought, look, I'm going back 6, so my answer must be negative 6. No, you need to look at the end result. What number are you at now? In this case, we ended up at negative 3, so that is our answer. So here, where are the 0 pairs located on the number line? If you can recall from the previous lesson, the 0 pairs are located in the overlap. So here there was 1, 2, 3 0 pairs, which makes sense because like we said in the previous symbols model, in order for us to actually take away 6, we had to add 3 0 pairs, so we had enough positives to take away those 6. Okay, let's try number 2. Okay, first I want you to think, okay, 12 minus 4, you know how to do that. Don't overthink it, okay? But let me show you a visual. Starting with the 0, I'm going to go to positive 12. And then from here, since it's subtraction, that means I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to go backwards 4. Okay, so here, starting where I left off, which was positive 12, I'm going to go backwards 4, which is going to leave me with 8. Okay, so here, again, where is the 0 pairs located? I would say it's right here. And how many 0 pairs were there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. How would you get 4? Well, okay, moving on to number 3. So negative 3 minus 9, that one's not totally a problem that you can just remember from previous. However, we're going to go ahead and try it with the number line and see how we would do this. Starting at the origin, as always, we're going to first go to negative 3. And then from negative 3, subtraction means going backwards. So we're going to go backwards 9. So from here, let's go back 9. So from negative 3 moving on further backwards 9 extra is going to leave me with negative 12. So here, if I asked you how many 0 pairs there are, you need to look and see, is there any overlaps? The answer is no. So in this case, there are 0 pairs, or should I say, there's no 0 pairs at all. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is tricky. You gotta be careful. So let's see. For number 4, starting at the origin as always, we're going to first go to negative 11, which is here. Now, like I said before, subtraction means to go backwards. So I'm going to go backwards. But wait, there's a negative 3, which means, okay, technically I'm supposed to go backwards, but this negative means I'm going to go the opposite direction, which means instead of going backwards, I must now go forward 3. So from here, if I go forward 3, that's going to leave me with a negative 8. So again, to answer the question, how many 0 pairs are there? We're going to simply look for the overlap here, and there are 1, 2, 3 overlaps. So altogether, there's just 3 0 pairs. Number 5. Let's see. For number 5, I'm going to first start with the origin, going all the way to negative 7. This is subtraction, so I'm going to go backwards 6. So here, starting there, I'm going to go backwards 6 more, which was going to take me to negative 13. So how many 0 pairs are there? I would say 0. Now, again, I can't stress this enough. When it's subtraction, we're going to go backwards. If it's a positive number, we're literally just going to go backwards. However, we have to be careful. If we're subtracting a negative number, it means to go backwards, but because that negative number is negative, we're going to have to go the opposite direction. So it kind of reverses itself. But just please remember that between a positive and a negative. Okay, so number 6. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try number 6 by yourself. So let's see how well we did. Hopefully you first started with going all the way to, at the origin, going all the way to negative 11, which is right here. This means we need to go backwards, and from here we're just going to go backwards 4. Since it's positive, we're just going to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to leave me right here, which is a negative 15. So I'm going to say the difference of negative 11 and 4 is negative 15. And here we can clearly see there are no 0 pairs. How do we know? Because there's no overlaps in the 2 lines. Okay, what about number 7? Go ahead, again, pause the video and try number 7 by yourself. So number 7 is a little bit different because it's a vertical number line versus a horizontal number line, but it's okay. We can handle either one. First, we're going to start with negative 3. So from the origin, we're going to negative 3. 1, 2, 3, which is right here. And then from there, this means to go backwards. So in this case, it's actually going to mean to go further down. Okay, so up, in this case, up would be positive, and down would be negative. Okay, so in this case, we're supposed to go down, but this negative 14 means, okay, now we're switching direction. Instead of going down, we're going to go up. So from here, we're going to go up 14. So I'm going to do it a little bit closer to the number line so I can see a little bit better. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hopefully I stopped at the right number. And that should leave me with a positive 11. So here I'm going to say the difference of negative 3 and negative 14 is 11. Now please understand on your homework it's not going to look like this. However, I just did it a little bit closer so I can count and be more accurate versus counting from here. I probably give you the wrong answer. Okay, so moving on to the next problem. Number 8. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one by yourself. So here I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go all the way to negative 17, which is about right here. And then from there, this means subtract means to continue to go down. However, because it's a negative 3, I'm going to switch direction and go up instead. And I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, which is going to leave me with a negative 14. So here I'm going to say the difference of negative 17 and negative 3 is negative 14. And real quick, I forgot to mention, what are the 0 pairs? Well, if you look very closely at the overlap, I would see there was 1, 2, 3 overlaps. So altogether, I would say there were 3 0 pairs. Okay, so it says here, find the sum or difference of each of the following using a number line. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you, and then you're going to have some opportunities to try some by yourself. So I'm supposed to start at the origin as always. I'm going to start at a negative 2, 1, 2. Subtraction, we know, means to go backwards. But because it's a negative 9, we must switch directions, and now instead of going backwards, we're going to go forward 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to leave me at a positive 7. So here, number 10. I'm going to go ahead and show you this one as well. Starting at the origin, I'm going to go to negative 4 first. This subtraction means I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go backwards 5. So starting here, I'm going to go backwards 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which leaves me at negative 9. Okay, last one, number 11. Here, I'm going to start with negative. So first, I'm going to start with negative 15. I'm going to add, wait a second. Notice it's add, so it's not backwards. Adding means I go forward. So here I must go forward a positive 7. So I'm going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is going to leave me right here, which is a negative 8. Let's clean that up. So here I would say for number 9, the difference of negative 2 and negative 9 is 7. For number 10, I would say the difference between negative 4 and negative 4 and 5 is negative 9. And here I wouldn't say difference, I would say the sum of negative 15 and 7 is negative 8. Now I'd like you to go ahead and try number 12 by yourself. Okay, so hopefully for number 12 you got negative 9. Now go ahead and try number 13 by yourself. Okay, so for number 13 you should have gotten negative 13. And last but not least, go ahead and try number 14 by yourself. Okay, so for number 14 you should have gotten negative 13 as well. So hopefully you're able to get those accurately. Now moving on. So that actually concludes the lesson for today. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, and until next time, bye!